Hi, and welcome to the forecast discussion for July 9th, 2013. It's currently 9 a.m. Another muggy, humid morning is in place throughout the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Temperatures range from the lower to mid 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 70s along the coast, upper 70s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area, and our dew points are already in the lower to mid 70s in many locations with some fog in some isolated locations as well. That fog will lift in about another hour to 90 minutes, providing hazy sunshine. However, more showers and thunderstorms are on the way, not widespread, but still a threat as we continue on our hazy, hot, and humid summer weather pattern, and that, of course, means there'll be a threat of a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Taking a look at the latest radar, you can see a disturbance is approaching here with a few scattered showers here and there. Again, not widespread, but where these showers develop, they'll be capable of producing heavy downpours. A lot of this is starting to weaken, but we should see it start to refire. Keep an eye on this disturbance right here. This disturbance, as it's moving through western Pennsylvania, could intensify a bit this afternoon as we warm up here into the 80s and lower 90s. Creates an unstable atmosphere. All that heat and moisture is available to be fed on, and these thunderstorms right here could be an issue for later on this afternoon, basically from 2 p.m. on through 8 p.m. And some of those thunderstorms could be severe, but I think for right now, I think that the severe threat is going to be isolated. I think the primary threat here, heavy downpours. Now, when we take a look at the latest infrared satellite picture, we have this backdoor cold front here. Slightly cooler air. Slightly. This cold front, or stationary front, is going to lift back north. So if you like that nice little brief break in Connecticut, where the humidity was a little bit lower, unfortunately that's going to be coming to an end in the next few hours as this stationary front lifts northward. Here's our disturbance moving to the coast. Again, no major organized low pressure systems or cold fronts here, just these mid-level disturbances meandering about. When you take a look at the water vapor satellite picture, again, you can kind of see the same thing here. This little disturbance with the backdoor cold front is going to be leaving, and so as a result, this portion of the front will lift north and east. Could be a few thunderstorms here in Connecticut as a result. Here's our disturbance over western Pennsylvania. That's going to reach the coast, produce a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, because the atmosphere is so moisture saturated and warm from the surface all the way up to about 700 millibars, creating a severe thunderstorm is more difficult because you need that contrast of dry cold air aloft and warm moist air at the surface. Right now it's just warm and moist everywhere, so as a result it's more of a tropical heavy downpour. And as some of you know who were at the Yankee game yesterday, those tropical heavy downpours can be pretty impressive and produce quite a bit of rain. So if you're caught in one of these thunderstorms, do not try to drive through it because you can end up in some locally flash flooding scenarios that can be very dangerous. So use some caution here. Meanwhile, keep an eye on this disturbance right here. No, it's not a tropical disturbance, but it will have an impact on our tropical forecast or tropical storm Chantal, because this disturbance will start to influence this trough that's coming in from the upper Midwest. You see this trough here, that just starting to get into the screen here, is going to drive a cold front through the region on Thursday, producing showers and thunderstorms, and actually lead to a nice little break in the hazy, hot, and humid weather pattern. So the question is, once this cold front moves through, is whether this disturbance right here is going to slow down that trough, and what type of orientation that trough will set up as Chantal approaches the Bahamas. Let me show you what I mean. Here is the latest forecast as of 8 a.m. These are the stats. It has winds of 50 miles per hour. The pressure is still high at 1,010 millibars. That's pretty high for a tropical low pressure system. So it's a bit of a word of caution here. This is a rather unusual tropical low pressure system. The pressure should be lower. So we have to watch to see whether or not this low pressure system starts to really intensify and start to show a pressure below, I don't know, 1,000 millibars at some point. Meanwhile, it's moving to the west-northwest at 26 miles per hour. So Chantal is moving at a nice steady pace. When we take a look at the satellite picture, I want you to notice one thing. Here's where Chantal is located. Here's the next forecasted point. And if you take that forecasted point, it moves right through the island of Hispaniola, which would weaken Chantal significantly. However, Chantal here is a bit of a, well, like I said, a bit of an unusual storm. Now, Chantal, the location of the circulation is right about here. Right about where the thunderstorms are starting to really start to wrap around the low-level center, possibly producing some strengthening here. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to see whether this jogs just a bit further north. Why is that important? Well, if Chantal jogs a little bit further north, then that means that the track of this storm moves over less of the island of Hispaniola, which means that it will have a better chance of remaining a tropical storm, or at the very least a viable tropical low pressure system, once it reaches the Bahamas. So the track of Chantal over the next 2 days is going to be very important in determining what we're dealing with off of the southeast coast by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If this passes a little bit further north and just skirts the island of Hispaniola, that means that the low-level circulation is more intact, and that means we're dealing with a more organized tropical low-pressure system in the Bahamas that will be approaching the southeast coast, which means that the storm is stronger and could have more of an impact on the northern mid-Atlantic a little bit down the road. For today, we're using the GFS model guidance because, quite frankly, it's picking up the location and development of Tropical Storm Chantal a lot better than the European model guidance for whatever reason. So we're going to continue to use the GFS here. Now for this afternoon, again, look for a scattered shower and thunderstorm threat. This isn't going to be a widespread severe threat at all. More of a nuisance. Look for temperatures in the mid to upper 80s along the coast, upper 80s to lower 90s over the New York City metropolitan area, lower to mid 90s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. As we continue on, again, for tomorrow, the same scenario. Scattered showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s along the coast, lower to mid 90s over the Philadelphia metropolitan area. The heat index is still going to range anywhere from the mid 90s to lower 100s. Now, here is where things get interesting on Thursday. Our cold front moves through, widespread showers and thunderstorms. Some of those are going to be severe. And here's the interaction of our upper level disturbance. And here's the trough extending down. Now, the question is what type of orientation this trough will be in with the interaction of this disturbance. And here comes Chantal right here in the Bahamas. Through the steering currents pull Chantal northward and then up towards, let's say, North Carolina and South Carolina. Does it suppress the storm and head it towards Georgia and northern Florida? Does it really suppress it and force the storm to move into southern Florida? Well, we just don't know right now because we don't know what type of interaction this upper level trough will develop. Now, for us along the northern mid-Atlantic, the passage of the cold front will save us from a direct hit. Let me stress that, direct hit. So, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, high pressure will be in control with nice, tranquil weather conditions, no precipitation, and low humidity. So we'll be in the lower to mid 80s along the coast and mid to upper 80s away from the coast for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with tranquil weather conditions. Now, by Sunday night into Monday, that's where things get a little bit interesting here. Because you see, here comes Chantal moving in towards the southeast coast. So the question that we have to figure out here is whether Chantal is drawn northward by this trough axis. You see how it's more of a negative tilt? That would force Chantal more into the southeast coast. That moisture lingers and shoots up the east coast for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, producing very heavy downpours. Or it just meanders and lingers over the southeast coast. We're not sure about that right now. We're going to have to wait and see exactly A, how strong Chantal will be, and B, exactly what the orientation of this trough will be by the time we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Regardless, the hazy, hot, and humid weather pattern we've been dealing with, unfortunately, does return with a nice strong high pressure ridge building over the western Atlantic. That's why I don't think that the remnants of Chantal will exit off the east coast very quickly. It'll probably rain itself out over the eastern United States. So, if you like hazy, hot, and very humid weather conditions with a lot of tropical showers and thunderstorms, well, this pattern is for you and it's not going away anytime soon. That is the forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.